Ladies and gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. And your co-host, hailing from the Valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I am your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi. And joining me, as always, is my good friend, Ian Garavaglia. Ian, what's up, dog?
Dude, I am feeling great this Thursday. I know you're in the same situation as me work-wise. This is a Friday to me, and it's a podcast, and it's a very fun episode that we got lined up today, so I'm in a fantastic mood right now.
It is not a Friday for me. I do have to work tomorrow. It's quite the opposite of being like you, because it is our month's end, and it is the fiscal year end, so... Yeah, things are very busy over here for slinging booze, so I wish this could be my Friday.
You're welcome for bringing it up.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, dude. I guess I'm okay if you were to ask me if I'm doing well, but I'm glad you're happy, and I guess that's all that matters.
Thank you.
You're not happy, Ian, anymore. You're just the podcast son, but yes. I am happy for you.
Thank you.
And Eric Robinson, Mr. Cincinnati, stopping by from the Wrestling Junkies. He knows about my life. He said, hooray for month's end, and I want to go on the record right now and wish an early happy birthday to Mr. Cincinnati. I don't know how old he's going to be, and I think it's rude to just say how old people are, so I'm going to assume it is birthday number 29, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Eric.
And we also got Robbie Collins stopping by. He said, hello, guys. The Forbidden Door is opening. Anything can happen on the OTM podcast, baby. Yes, that is our MVM, Robbie Collins. And if you don't know what the MVM is, it's the most valuable mark of OTM, so if you're interacting, providing quality comments, questions for this episode, you too can become the MVM of OTM. The Great Brown Hope stopping by as well. We out you. Yes, sir. We definitely are. The Main Event Network crew stopping by, as is Eric Douglas. He said, I'm so happy to be here. See, look, Ian, you're not the only happy one. Eric Douglas is happy as well.
That's good. At least we'll have somebody happy on this podcast. That's good.
Yeah, I'm rarely, really happy. As you know, you've known me, for 5 years now?
Yeah.
When's the happiest Gags that you've ever seen? And if you don't know, Gags is my nickname.
Heading to a wiffle ball game on an actually nice day, and it's not for the teams we're currently playing on. Well, no, for you. Yeah. For you.
Or just going to a wrestling show.
Yeah, going to a wrestling show. I forgot about that. It's a wrestling
podcast.
That
is probably the happiest you'll ever see me. But we do have a special guest joining us for episode 201. But you see the logo behind us. We got the Forbidden Door logo up there. But for some reason, the Tribal Chief is on one side and Kenny Omega's on the other. This isn't your typical Forbidden Door preview show that we are going to be doing. We are recycling a topic that we have done in the past where we have put WWE versus AEW into a hypothetical Forbidden Door card. Now, Ian, I feel like I ask this question often to people, and I think I'm going to get the same answer, but do you think it's a realistic possibility for this to ever happen?
I don't think it's the same answer you're going to get anymore. I've always said it's a possibility. It's just going into sketchy territory. AEW, WWE, possibly. I mean, I think the new battalion, the new Triple H era might be definitely more open to it, but showing that you could have a healthy connection between TNA and WWE, that's good signs for the future, but it's not going to happen if AEW survives for another 5-10 years.
Yeah, that's a big if. I mean, we'll probably be watching Forbidden Door on Sunday, and it's something we say often is that we know what we're going to get from AEW pay-per-views. I mean, when we talk about some of the pay-per-views of the year, I look at my list right now, 3 out of the 4 that I have listed currently, Ian, are AEW pay-per-views. So we know what we're going to get there. It's just the weekly stuff, man. I haven't been into it as much recently.
Yeah, it's difficult with us, especially because, like, if I was home and able to watch it live at home, I would do it, but it's going back on replay. And I absolutely hate TV streaming services where it takes about a day for it to come back. So at that point, we've already talked about AEW if something happened when it's actually available for replay. So I just watch the YouTube. The YouTube shorts are honestly pretty good because they go about 3/4 of the match. They throw it on YouTube for AEW.
Yeah. Robbie kind of agrees with you. He said it's definitely more of a possibility now with Pop H in charge. It's more open, maybe one day, but I don't think it'd be for another while. Yeah, I totally agree. And Dirk Vogus in the house. Dirk, thanks for stopping by.
Well, anybody named Dirk sounds like a stand-up individual.
What a name, right? Dirk Van Fleet.
Well said, Christian.
Yeah, we just had.
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, you haven't been on this show yet. He said, hopefully you guys get a 4-day weekend starting next Thursday. I know I do. What about you?
I think so. Pretty sure.
You don't know if you work?
I really don't know.
You might want to figure that out. If
Possibly.
you don't, though, that's 2 Fridays in a row. So big moves happening in your world. But guys, before we introduce our special guest, don't forget to head on over to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. That is where you can get any and all OTM merch. We are running a discount code this week since it is a pay-per-view weekend. If you use promo code DOOR, you will save 10% off of your order. Ian, tell them a few of the items that we got available at the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I have it hang up for show, but you could always get the basic OTM merch just right there. And that same logo comes in pretty much anything you could think of. The tapestry behind Kyle to his left, your right. You could also get that, snag that, throw that up on the wall. I still need to get one of those as well. You got the Honorary Mark shirt just in time for AEW. Get the Bryan Danielson Appreciation shirt. There's a lot of stuff up there. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and don't forget to show some love to our friends at the Main Event Wrestling Network. You saw the Great Brown Hope comment here live. He just released a blog about Dijak. We saw those rumors of Dijak, or it's not even rumors. Dijak literally posted a letter that he had typed out saying that they didn't come to an agreement. And the Great Brown Hope put a great piece together of the 5 greatest hits of Dijak in WWE. So if you want to check that out, just make sure you're following the network at mainevent_net on all of the socials. But Ian, that's not all. I think something happened today, didn't it?
Yeah, we had a little bit of breaking news. I know it wasn't a long time in the works, but it's a pretty big deal, I would say. It's with this company called WWF or WWE, one of those two.
I think it's E.
It is E now? Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this WWE, but they have this pretty popular merchandise website.
Yeah.
And now the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast is an official partner with the WWE shop, powered by Fanatics, of course. So if you click that QR code, or scan that QR code, I should say. Hold up, let me move the comment off because you probably won't be able to scan it. See, this is why we do this shit live. There you go. You scan that QR code right there. You are supporting OTM. Go get yourself the new Wyatt 6 t-shirt. I know there's a lot of cool summer designs going out there right now as well. Anything and everything. If you click on this QR code, and we have the links in our link tree as well, and I'm even going to throw it up there in the corner if you missed it right there and then, you can support OTM. Very exciting news going on here, Ian.
Yeah, honestly, it's very big news because, I mean, a bunch of people are going to buy WWE merch. If you don't like the OTM merch, that's fine. I will take offense to it, but that's fine. But a lot of people like WWE merch, and if you just so happen to be, you know what, I want to buy a Jey Uso shirt, why not? Let's buy a Yeet shirt. Let's support your boys. That's all you got to do. It's really simple. You just have to click our link, go through the process, order your shirt, and that supports us directly. So it's a big deal for us.
all the funds that we, get from you clicking that link and purchasing something will go directly to the production of this show. So we're not pocketing this money. This is all for you guys because we say it is by the marks for the marks, and we mean that. But and Robbie can confirm he also believes it is available on Euro Shop. So
that's huge.
It's not just here in the States. You can scan that code anywhere and get yourself some WWE merch. So big shout out to Fanatics and the WWE shop for working on that partnership with us. We are excited for the future of OTM. Starting off episode 200's very strong. But, Ian, I think it's time. We've been yapping now for about 11 minutes, and we haven't even talked about actual wrestling. Let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend. Our good friend Jordan Kammer has joined us for the very first time. Sir, welcome to OTM.
What's up, boys?
This has been a long time in the making. I just want to start that out. I want to say we have known each other probably for what? It's getting close to a year.
Over a year.
Yeah, over a year.
Years.
Oh, yeah, the Warrior shows. Yeah.
Honorary mark.
That's true. So, oh, God, time flies. But, yeah, no, we've talked about it so many times to try to get you on the podcast, and this was really a Kyle idea. Here he goes, hey, how about Jordan to do some fantasy booking with us? And I was like, that's perfect. So here you are. Welcome to the show, man.
It's an honor to be here, boys.
So why don't you actually tell the listeners about the honorary mark story, because you are the reason we have that available on our merch store.
I believe we were somewhere in Michigan, and we were sitting at a table watching Warrior Wrestling, and I believe it had to be the Morrison Storm Grayson match. You guys were talking about the podcast. And I just looked at you guys and I was like, does this mean I'm like an honorary mark or something?
That is it, yeah.
And you were like, dude, we're going to make a shirt of this. And I was like, I don't know. Can I curse on here? No? Yes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know who the fuck these guys are. There's no way they're going to make a shirt. And next thing you know, I get a text from you guys. Hey, so what size are you? We're going to send you a shirt for the honorary mark. And then next thing you know, we're all in love and we're all happy.
You got that right, and it has become our number one seller too
for a long time.
So we appreciate your creative juices over there. But if the people don't know about you, you actually are in the pro wrestling business. So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about what you do behind the scenes?
So behind the scenes, I help book talent for public appearances, autograph signings, matches, shows, podcasts, you name it. And then recently in March, I made my debut at Galley Lucha Libre Wrestling.
Hell yeah.
With Missa Kate as her quote-unquote manager. So, yeah, it was a fun time. Really enjoy it. I miss it. Can't wait to get back in, but got to heal up first and get through this injury. And then once we're past this, we're good to go.
Yeah, we got to interact with you a couple times at the Warrior Wrestling, now known as Pro Wrestling Ventures. So we definitely have shared a few moments behind the curtain at those shows, and that's going to stay behind the curtain. But
absolutely, it will.
Ian, you got a question for Jordan over here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've ever asked you this. I know I didn't ask you this, but I want to ask you, when did you start really getting into the business, and like what kind of made you make the decision and hey, I'm going to take a shot at this? Why not?
So growing up, I've always been like, would I ever be good as a wrestler? And my parents were like, yo, you'd actually be kind of good at this stuff. And so, you go to shows when you're younger. Actually never knew about indie wrestling until probably like my freshman year of high school.
Wow.
And freshman year of high school, I started going to Warrior a lot. And it was a fun time, but the more you go to these indie shows, the more people you know. And there was a guy named Pat Monix that was wrestling at Warrior for a while. And me and him just came really close. And he hit me up last year. He's like, hey, man, actually hit me up 3 years ago during COVID. Is that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
4,
yeah.
3 or 4. It's been a while.
Gosh.
We just started texting again and, we're being buddies. And about 2 years ago, he's like, hey, man, I got this idea. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you want to start training? And I was like, yeah. And then last August, I started training with Pat. almost every day, literally. And then November comes around, and then Missa did a lot of the training too, and then I started training with her, and then I just kind of took off from there. And the next thing you know, March, she's like, "Hey, you want to do a show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to do a show." So it just happened like that.
The rest is history. And also behind the scenes, Jordan is the one that helped us set up that interview that we had with NWA's Missa Kate. So yeah, we got to give him a lot of credit for feeding the OTM community. So Jordan, it definitely is long overdue, but we are glad you are here. And the reason that you are here is we are going to cook. That's what you said in the group chat. That's what Ian's been saying. You guys have been talking a big game about this WWE versus AEW hypothetical Forbidden Door card. And I say we get right into it. And I think the easiest way to go about doing this is I'm going to ask you guys to give me a couple matches, maybe two to start. Give me a little bit of reasoning behind it, maybe what you would like to see. And then for our listeners that are watching live, give us your thoughts on these matches. And if you got some dream Forbidden Door matches between the WWE and AEW, please share those in the comment section. So, Ian, I'm going to let you go first.
Ooh.
Now, we know every single wrestling show has a buy-in, a pre-show, something to get warmed up. So, what is your pre-show match for this Forbidden Door card?
All right, so my first match, I know for a fact this would be my first match. I had to get the crowd going, maybe get a few chuckles. I know there's going to be a few chuckles because I have the Gun Club versus Awesome Truth. Yeah,
It would be a lot of fun.
thank you. That was one I was sitting on the toilet, and I'm like, oh, that would be funny. We're throwing that on the card.
Okay.
But that's my first pre-show match. My second one, also very entertaining. It's more on the entertainment scale, some decent wrestling. And one of these, actually both of these guys, I really couldn't find a spot on the card, but I feel like they deserved a spot. Swerve Strickland versus L.A. Knight.
Yeah, you put Swerve Strickland, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, on the pre-show.
I cooked. My main card is stacked.
Jordan, I wouldn't call that cooking if you're leaving out a world champion.
My main card is stacked.
Left the food in the oven for like an hour and a half.
Main card is stacked. That's all I got to say.
Burnt that shit. To be fair, I mean, it would be a fun match. Like you said, the wrestling would be okay, but LA Knight did not make my card. Just full disclosure. It was very tough. So the way we are looking at this is kind of it being a 2-day show because there's just so much talent on both rosters.
Oh, no.
We have a lot of matches.
I got the AEW show going on. This is all one night. This is all taking place one night.
Fair enough. Robbie says, I want to fling out the Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Wheeler Yuta.
Oh.
I don't hate that. My issue, though, with that one is both of these guys are really good underdog kind of guys in the match, so I wonder how that would play out. Sami Zayn is probably much bigger than Wheeler Yuta, so
Agreed.
I don't know. Sami Zayn bully.
World champ on pre-show sums up AEW. Yeah. There's kind. So, there's Ian's pre-show. Jordan, what's your pre-show looking like?
So I got 2 matches on my pre-show. So the first one, I think, getting the crowd hot, starting off good. Chad Gable versus Pac.
Ooh. Now that's something I didn't even think of, Jordan, but you're onto something there.
I think both those guys would absolutely tear the house down. And I think, me personally, that's a main event of any show you see, and anybody would tune in for it. But since I'm cooking with seasonings and spice and all that, I feel like that's a good way to start that.
I don't hate that. Ian, what do you think about that match? That would be fun.
That is very good, and I'm kind of pissed off that you actually put Chad Gable in there because
put Chad Gable in my card.
I got him in there, and I am actually very tempted to say I might have the better Chad Gable match.
Ooh,
just saying it.
That's a tease.
It's on the main card.
That is a hot start, Jordan. So what's the other pre-show match that you had in mind?
Everyone's been asking for it, and everyone that I've talked to would love to see this match happen, and I would love to see this match happen personally. Deonna Purrazzo versus the homie Missa Kate.
Ooh, boy. Now, I know Missa's in NWA right now, so it is technically WWE versus AEW, but since you're a guest, I will allow it, and since she was a guest, I definitely am a fan of that. Missa Kate versus Deonna Purrazzo. Now, that's something we need to see one day, Ian.
It's cooking.
Like be amazing.
I like that
Man,
one. I like
who
it.
goes over?
Come on.
You're asking the manager of Missa Kate.
Would you be in her corner for this match?
Oh, no way. She's got to have this. No way. I don't need to help her for this one. I feel like she's got it down, but I feel like watching this from a fan perspective, oh man, let it cook.
Who would be the heel here?
Missa.
Missa?
Oh,
Man,
for
I
sure.
don't know.
Missa's heel work is
It's pretty
next
funny.
level.
It's pretty funny too.
Do you
Hot
teach
take.
her any of that?
Hot take. I think she's the best heel women's wrestler right now.
Ooh, go check her out, people.
Up there.
If you're not
It's up there.
familiar. It's hard to disagree, but Missa Kate versus Deonna Purrazzo, that's fun. I like that. And if you guys didn't know, former guest of the show, so we are going to definitely allow that right there. The comments loved Gable and Pac. Great Brown Hope said Chad and Pac have history from NXT too. Yes,
I
they
did not know
both had a couple runs there. And Kind says you are cooking it up right now. And of course, Kind also got to say Kalani Jordan versus Tony Storm on the pre-show. Not a shocker whatsoever that he found a way to get Kalani
Kind.
Jordan on the card.
Jesus.
Robbie said it's like seasoning a chicken. When you start putting the seasoning on, it's looking good. Kai and Mariah May beats up Kalani before she gets to the ring.
There you go. That's better.
That's the booking we want.
That's
right
better.
there. Okay, Jordan, you guys have given your pre-show, so let's get into mine. And I feel like every pre-show has to have a tag team match. Just to get the crowd going, like you guys were saying. Mine's Tag Team Turmoil. We're going to bring in six tag teams right here for this match. And the winners of this match get a title opportunity in any company. I'm throwing a stipulation at it. So,
I didn't think about
here
that.
are my tag teams. FTR,
Okay.
the Guns, the BCC being Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. I'm using Moxley for other things. The Judgment Day, which would be Damian Priest and Dominic. The Street Profits, and the New Day. Tag Team Turmoil.
Yeah, that's just getting the crowd hyped up. I think that's a solid
Everybody
match.
on the card.
Yeah.
Solid.
Not bad.
I'm
We're doing
not
charity
like-
work.
I'm
We're doing
not
charity
cooking with
work.
gasoline here, but
Trying to light it with a lighter right now. You're just like kind of flickering it.
and I got another tag team match on the pre-show just to get people a little warmed up. And Tony Storm is on my pre-show, which might surprise some people, but I have Timeless Tony teaming up with her protege Mariah May to take on the tag team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
I think that's a squash match.
Yep.
Not in my world, it's not. What you're saying? Tony and Mariah go over, right?
Yeah, no. that is when they break up as a tag team and their relationship is over. That's what that would turn into.
I mean, both teams could break up at that
That's
point.
true.
I mean,
Right in the middle of the match, they switch partners.
Fatal four-way. Here we go.
I had to get him on the card. I just had to. And Great Brown Hope said stack tag team turmoil, ultimate spot fest. Yeah, and it's like when WrestleMania when they did the tag team show.
Yeah.
I just think those matches are a lot of fun. So, Jordan, I'm going to go to you first here. Let's get to the opener and then just a random ass match that you also want to share. What match is starting off the main card for you?
So I want to start this as hot as possible. So give me the Young Bucks versus Sammy and KO.
Can't
PWG.
go wrong with that.
PWG.
So they've had matches.
Oh
in the past.
yeah.
Oh,
California.
yeah. But
A
I
lot.
feel that if you get a WWE AEW crossover and this happens, it won't touch PWG.
Dude, the crowd would be totally into that match because I feel like, and this is speaking from a guy that leans WWE, I hate the Young Bucks, and I feel like all the WWE fans would be hating on the Young Bucks and behind Sammy and KO. But of course, you have your AEW loyalists. But I think you're onto something there. That's a good start.
I
to
like
the
that
show.
one. I like it. I didn't even think of PWG. I didn't go off of indies at all. Like I didn't think of past ties at all.
I didn't either. I
That
just
was-
simply thought what would cook.
That's fair.
That's a good start. So give me another match that you got on your card.
And this second match, I think, would just like the internet would freak. Wardlow and Braun Breaker.
Ooh.
I didn't put Braun Breaker on my card.
either. Oh no! I'm leaving him off. I'm not going to put him in anything. But
that's a win for you, Jordan. Just that's a great match. Like you said, that's two similar beasts right there going at it. Big meaty men bumping meat.
Yep.
just no.
Obviously,
And-
Braun Breaker's going over.
100%. But I think Braun Breaker is the future of
Correct.
professional
Yeah.
wrestling.
Absolutely.
100%. And I think Wardlow is absolutely the future of professional wrestling, whether he's in AEW or WWE. But I think if he goes to WWE, they will use him very similar to Braun Breaker.
Correct.
We've talked about that in the past, how Wardlow would be a very good fit in the WWE. Just hot and cold pushes that he's been getting in AEW really hasn't worked out for him that well. But Robbie's saying there's a reason Kyle and Ian don't book shows for Braun.
There goes your MVM.
I'm not a booker. I'm a predictor, I guess. And Great Brown Hope loves it. Ooh, Braun Breaker literally breaks Wardlow, then breaks an AEW announcer just because he can. Alexa, play Braun Breaker's entrance theme. Yeah, a lot of people are making fun of it. No, Alexa, turn off.
No, I for the people,
Alexa,
for the audience right now,
turn off.
the amount of names right now that could be on these cards are insane. Like I was standing there thinking, I was like, I don't know who else I could possibly forget. Like a lot of my matches are like triple threats, fatal fours. I got a couple good singles.
It would be extremely difficult if this actually happened to put together a
100%.
card and to figure out who would win.
Somebody get pissed. Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you guys texted me to get a card ready, I actually had 3 mock cards up because I could not decide which one. And I just had to decide what matches I would watch out of these 3.
It's difficult.
It's so hard.
I'll tell you what. My opener shatters your opener because there actually is history between these two individuals. Bell to bell, you could say that these two are definitely in the top 5 best in-ring talents right now. And I am starting off this hypothetical Forbidden Door card with Seth freaking Rollins versus Will Ospreay. That is going to get the crowd going. They've had their banter on social media in the past. That easily a 5-star match, guys. Easily.
100%.
Fuck. I didn't forget any of them, by the way. I'm just saying, fuck, that's good.
He's like, oh, hey, by the way, I left Seth and Ospreay off the card too.
Oh,
that'd be tough. Kind says I got Carmelo Hayes versus Swerve Strickland and Ospreay versus Ilya. Ooh.
That's not bad.
Fine, those are good. Those are good. I didn't put Ilya on my card either because there's only so much room.
Yeah.
We can't have a 30-match card, guys. I'm sorry. Some people have to get left off. But maybe you could throw them all into a ladder match or something. But, yeah, I don't think anybody's topping that opener. But another match I'm going to throw out there, I just think the vibes of this would be awesome because they are very similar factions. We just recently saw the return of Uncle Howdy, and now he has this faction with him. Give me the Wyatt Six versus the House of Black. Trios action.
Yeah.
Spooky guys going at it. Let's have some fun.
Don't hate it.
Simple as that.
Yeah, don't hate it. That's simple. Straight to the point. I like it.
Is it like wrestling or like the vignette type wrestling?
Ooh,
like
cinematic match?
Let's make it
Yeah,
cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're cooking.
Good call, Jordan. We're making it cinematic for sure.
I like that.
Fuck, that's a great one, Xander. Ilya versus Danielson. I'm throwing that on my card.
Oh, come on!
I'm throwing that on the card. He's a main event guy, so I get to use it. That's on my card as well. I make the rules around here. Thanks, Xander. Appreciate you. Robbie says I'll take Claudio versus Sheamus for a run it back match. Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Don't hate it.
Great Brown Hope says Authors of Pain and Cross versus Edge, Christian, and Luchasaurus. That's good.
Huh. I don't hate that at all.
I
Got a
don't
bunch of
hate
guys. Yeah, got a bunch of guys from AEW that don't team really, besides Christian and Luchasaurus. Oh, they don't even team. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one.
Maybe throw Nick Wayne in there too.
That's what I was thinking. Nick Wayne instead of Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
true.
do it for sure. All right, Ian, let's hear it. What's
All right.
starting off your card and give me another match.
My opener is also a banger, and I am crossing out one of the big boys right away. I have Will Ospreay versus AJ Styles.
Oh.
I mean, you can't go wrong with
That's just good wrestling. That's start off your card. That's just good wrestling.
I like it.
Second match, I will also. You know what? No, I have a couple that I want to say, but I'm going to go right back to the Chad Gable situation. And the other guy that he's facing, it's crossing out a big name here. Chad Gable versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
All right. Don't like the silence. Cool.
No, it's a great.
bad.
It doesn't like scream billboard, like
Right.
blockbuster match. It
Yeah, but
would be a great in-ring match, but
100%.
Damn.
I don't know.
That
I'm
was-
sorry. It's not.
Ugh.
It's not moving the needle for me. I like this one. I wouldn't do
Shit.
it, but Xander said Ospreay versus Carmelo, and we got Dre on Twitter commenting back. Dre, you can comment live on the stream. It's a lot easier with YouTube, Facebook, or X. Just go to one of those. But he asked, can we add TNA and include Matt Hardy and PCO and make that a Hardy compound match? Yeah, I'll allow it for my cinematic. I'll allow it, Dre, just for you. But yeah, Ian, you gave us 2, didn't you?
I gave you 2, yeah.
That's all right. You didn't hit on the second one, but
Yeah, that was pretty silent. I didn't like that.
all
I'll be
right,
back.
Jordan, give me. Hear me. Kind goes. Okay, no, I'm not pulling it up. Nope. I fell for it.
No,
No, you don't want to see it.
you can read it off to the side.
Yeah. Robbie said Darby Allin versus Ilya in a death match. Yeah.
Oh,
I had
I like
Darby
that one
off my
too.
card. Darby was off my card. I also didn't put a lot of current inactive superstars on mine. I tried
Same.
to keep it somewhat active. But Jordan,
Same.
you're up. You got a couple matches for us.
I feel like we need to continue this hot streak and go Gunther versus Danielson.
Mm.
Fuck, that's juicy.
Danielson's gonna have a very red chest. That will be
He always
by the end
does.
of the match.
Yeah, that's a dream match for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
but
that's
then
a good
again,
one.
you could put anybody versus Gunther and anybody versus Danielson. It's
Correct.
probably going to be a good match.
Pretty good.
But-
Except Chad Gable.
Yeah, except you don't get a pop when you say Chad Gable versus Bryan Danielson.
Yeah,
All right, that's a solid one, Jordan. What's the other one you're cooking up?
So, for one night and one night only, the Shield versus Omega, Cole, and Rhodes.
One night only. So you're interchanging rostered superstars to be on similar teams.
For one night only.
Huh?
Oh,
Give the
that's
fans what
creative.
they want. Bullet Club versus the Shield.
Bullet Club.
Yeah,
versus
that is
the
true.
Shield. Yeah, that's good. Hey, you got a pop out of Great Brown Hope for Gable.
Thank you.
Stevenson.
Thank you, guys. Speak up.
Oh,
Come
how
join the
did we not-
podcast.
I don't know why I didn't think of this.
I
on
didn't
my
think of
card.
it either.
He said, "Give me Jack Perry versus CM Punk in a tables, ladders, and glass match."
Wait
Makes
for that
sense.
one. Wait for that one.
Real
Okay.
glass.
I'll announce
Real
that one.
glass. Xander says Nakamura versus Malachi. Yeah, I think
I
we've
did-
seen that before too in the past.
Probably. I left Nakamura off.
NXT.
I'm out.
Yeah. That's a banger from Jordan. Shield versus Bullet Club is absolutely fire. They seem to like your card so far, Jordan. So let's hear another one.
So I guess I'll just get into that one. This was supposed to be my main event, but who cares? Give me CM Punk with Triple H against Jungle Boy and Tony Khan.
Huh.
I mean, you really don't have anything else to add to that. That says it all, right?
Yep.
Is Tony Khan and Triple H actually wrestling, or are they just ringside?
Nope. They're just ringside.
Yeah, I was about to
Okay,
say.
good.
Tony Khan's doing some little bit of the blow in the corner.
Cool.
What do you mean?
Assuming.
We made
You don't know
jokes
if he
about
does
it
it.
before.
I know. He probably does do blow. I'm not going to say what it actually is called because, once again, this is a podcast and it is.
You
on
will
YouTube.
lose that sponsorship pretty quick.
Yeah. New sponsors with the WWE shop. Talk about blank. Yeah. All right. 2 more matches for me. I got 2 women's matches coming up for you guys. This one, there's history here that goes back all the way to NXT. These 2 came up together. They are part of the 4 Horsewomen. I got Bayley versus Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
They had one of the best women's matches at NXT TakeOver, and I believe it was 2015 in Brooklyn. I mean, just to see them run it back again, but under this new character that Mercedes has, I think that would put some butts in seats. What do you think about that one, Jordan? Mercedes versus Bayley.
I think it's gonna be good. I mean, you could never go wrong with Mercedes and Bayley. Like we've seen it. It's a banger match. It'll be one of the top matches on the card, probably. So, yeah.
And another women's matchup that I have on my Forbidden Door. This superstar is injured on the AEW side, And the other one is technically a free agent, but we know she's coming back eventually. Becky Lynch versus Britt Baker. The man versus the face of the AEW women's division, in my opinion.
I like that one. Yeah, I like that one.
A lot of personality from those two.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So those are my two other women's matches that I have on the card. I still have a lot more. So Ian, you're up. What you got?
All right, I will go to my women's match. I have a tag team kind of gauntlet match 4-way. I have Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Bayley and Mercedes versus the Kabuki Warriors versus Toni Storm and Mariah May.
Did you just team up two rivals?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That's
Very
a good way to get everybody on the card.
Thank you.
So you did the interchanging of rosters being teammates as well?
As I did, yes.
Okay. Interesting approach there. Great Brown Hope liked Britt versus Becky, but he said been there, done that for Bayley, has outgrown Mercedes.
It's debatable. It's
It's
not a bad take. It's not a bad take.
No, I lean Mercedes in that situation if we're comparing apples to apples, but let me ask Jordan that question. Who's your favorite out of the two? Or who do you think is more talented, Bayley or Mercedes?
So the way I look at it is who's consistent. And I would say Bayley is very consistent compared to Mercedes. I would probably take Bayley out of that.
Fair enough. I think
I'd
that's
probably
a fair
agree.
take.
I would agree.
She has been more consistent over her run for sure. Kine said he would take Mercedes versus Becky. Great feud from the past. Their 2019 Hell in a Cell is one of my favorite women's matches of all time. Yeah, fair play to that. Robbie says he'd like to see Grayson Waller versus Will Ospreay. That's one I didn't expect to see. Doesn't really excite me too much.
All right.
It's what Robbie would like to see, and that's all that matters. But Ian, you got another match for us?
Yes, I do. I have my meat match. I have one surprise. I have Gunther versus Samoa Joe versus Oba Femi.
Oh, you got Oba on the card.
I did. I got Oba in there.
Jordan, you're jealous, aren't you?
How do you throw in Oba but not throw in Braun Breaker?
No, that's why I got so pissed, because I was like, I completely forgot. It would have been a
Throw him in there. I'll allow it. Make it a
okay,
four-way.
versus Braun Breaker.
There you go.
But
that's why I got angry. What's
Who's
that?
the four again? What's the match?
It's Gunther, Samoa Joe, Oba Femi, and Braun Breaker.
That's meat.
That's a lot of meat.
That's just meat right there.
And why not? Throw in Ivar, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Bronson Reed.
And Bronson Reed. It's a lot. It's the Meat Fest match.
And Otis.
Yeah, why not?
We'll just keep naming meaty men. Hobbs.
Mojo.
Throw him in there.
Yeah, he's got Joe in there, so we're good. It's just the Meat Fest. That's what you can call it. And I like it, Ian. You're onto something there.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan. What you got for us? Give me a couple more.
All right. The next match I have, which I know everyone's going to be like, no, whatever. Give me Will Ospreay versus Carmelo Hayes versus Darby Allin versus Johnny Gargano.
Oh. Kind of like an indie darlings match.
Yeah.
Yes. Let them do all the indie spots. Go crazy. Have fun.
It's your Spot Fest match. You can't hate that.
Nothing wrong with that, Jordan. I think the chat will agree that they would like that. Give me another one.
Going back to this little Bullet Club thing, give me Hangman and Jay White versus AJ Styles and Finn Balor.
I got something similar to that, Jordan.
Oh, I left Hangman off.
So did I.
Oh, man. He's been gone for a while.
We try to keep it active.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
No, it's good. I mean, there's, like you said, history with the Bullet Club. Yeah, and it seems like the chat's Team Jordan right now. So maybe after this, we can get together our lists. Yeah, and post them all. Yeah. I'm about to sneeze, though, Ian, so I'll let you jump the gun.
Okay, I will go with my one singles match that I think is kind of low-hanging fruit, but I think would be an amazing blood feud match. Gonna need a little bit of build-up. Gonna need a promo work. Going MJF versus Cody Rhodes. Straight to the point. I mean, that's a lot of hatred between the two. You know MJF's not going to pull punches. Yes.
I have the same thing.
Oh, okay.
MJF versus Cody Rhodes, yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is so appealing to you guys about this match?
MJF would literally just call Cody Rhodes out for being a cheater. Like MJF is literally AEW. That is the AEW guy.
Right.
In technicalities, Cody Rhodes turned his back on AEW. MJF would bring that up. The build up to this match would be fantastic.
Don't forget too, MJF broke into AEW with Cody Rhodes.
Correct.
Like,
also
they
true.
have on-screen ties in AEW.
They faced each other when MJF was
that much.
wow.
Really? You don't think like with MJF on the stick and just Cody Rhodes being literally our new John Cena of the company wouldn't put butts in seats?
You're telling me you're having Cody be facing that?
Yes.
How is he not?
What? Jordan.
Okay,
You're having MJF be
hold
the
on. Let's think about this, right?
Yeah,
Cody
I am.
leaves AEW, jump ships to WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
Max is already a heel. So
Yes.
you're telling me you wouldn't like to see Max be a face and be like, you left this company, this, and that. And then Cody's like, dude, the grass was greener. All heel stuff towards Max.
A face in the AEW fans' perspective.
Yeah, this would be a company versus company match. Like,
Yeah.
no matter, you have to choose a side to determine who's
I
face
don't
heel.
see it, man. I don't see it. It doesn't get me out of my seat.
Wow,
To be completely
that's
honest.
shocking. I mean,
But listen, I love them both. Don't get me wrong. They're awesome. But like,
MJF hater.
Great Brown
No,
said
I
Shayna
actually-
Baszler versus Mercedes Moné. He loves Shayna Baszler. Of course, he's got to get her on the card.
Mercedes? No, he said Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, Mercedes, yeah.
That's a
Yeah, no,
shot.
thanks. I feel like we've seen that before too. Sky Blue versus the new Wendy Chu. Okay, that would make sense. Or
not
new
bad.
Wendy Chu versus Abaddon versus Shotzi in a creepy match, flinging Nikki Cross in the Wyatt Six. Okay,
Call it the
All
creepy
right,
match
Bobby.
too.
we'll call it the creepy match, and we'll call it the House of Horrors match, like they did back when Rey Mysterio lost his eye.
Oh God.
Give me Orton and Cena versus Edge and Christian. Old school shit.
We forgot
That is
Orton.
really good, kind. I forgot Orton too.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. All right, Ian, give us another one.
All right. I have 2 matches left, so yeah, no, I'm gonna go with a faction match. This is the Elite versus the Bloodline. This is the present day rosters. Like, I don't know who's gonna get hated
New
more.
Bloodline.
Yes, new Bloodline, correct.
oh,
Not the old Bloodline. Going current. And current Elite too. So
Okay.
again, this would be the AEW versus WWE. We got to get behind somebody. I think this could be a really, really good match, especially with now
Oh yeah.
Fatu's. So I'm into that one.
I am as well. I got a lot more than 2, so let me just start rattling off some. This
I've got
goes
a lot
off
more
of-
than 2 too.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'll knock off a good chunk of mine right here because mine's gonna play off what he just said. I also have the Elite, the current iteration of the Elite on the card, taking on Jay and Jimmy Uso with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We know the history there with the Bloodline, KO and Sami. They main evented WrestleMania 39 together. What if they came together for a common cause of the WWE to take on the biggest heel faction in the other company? It's like the mega powers colliding for me, so that's got to be on the card.
Yeah, that's like your staple AEW versus WWE match. Like, that is the match you could throw on a poster and be like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Another match you could throw on the poster is what Xander's saying: Orton versus MJF.
Dude, I'd love Xander. He's just throwing out bangers, doesn't
Yeah.
have any commentary, just throws out bangers and just watches us talk about it. I love it.
That's what
Banger after banger after banger.
Xander wins.
Shout out to Dropkicks and Attractions on the Main Event Wrestling Network. If you like Xander's matches, you might like his podcast. So definitely
true.
go check it out. Great Brown Hope said, Mr. OTM cooking a lasagna. You know, my last name's Gagliardi. So
The lasagna.
yeah, Madonna. So we got that one, and going back to kind of what you guys were talking about with some Bullet Club ties and your matches, I got a fatal 4-way with all Bullet Club leaders. Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Finn Balor versus Jay White in a fatal 4-way.
Oh,
Come on, guys. That's
Oh.
a layup.
I don't know how I forgot about that. I knew it. Now I know it, but it's like, oh my God.
Listen to this again, people. Kenny Omega, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Jay White. How does that match not put up 5 stars?
Who comes out on top? I know
Finn.
my answer. AJ.
Finn.
I know
The
mine.
OG. Oh, wait, no. Was Finn before AJ?
Yeah, I think Finn
Oh.
was the first. No, AJ might have been the first.
No,
I don't
AJ
know.
was
I
the
don't.
first. AJ was definitely
Was
the
he?
first.
Okay, then I'm taking AJ. It's got to be the OG. And
Or
the victory
Kenny.
for the OG.
No, Kenny. AEW needs to get
Kenny
some
can-
wins.
No,
Kenny's-
Kenny could lose.
Kenny's gonna need it.
Kenny
I mean,
wins.
I'd want. Is that who you would have winning that match, Jordan?
No.
Finn was first, according to
Oh,
Xander.
I would so.
So Finn would win.
winning, the
Whoever's the
OG.
OG, he's got to win it. Yeah.
Xander, I did have this match, but I did change it. He said Charlotte and Britt.
That's a good
I
one.
might have had that in an old episode. We did this topic in 2019, and that's a fun one to listen to because that was not only the first year Tuck and I were doing the podcast, but the rosters are completely different now, 5 years removed. So if you want to go back, I think that's might have been before episode 100. It might be in the 80s, but we also did it last year. It was just with Tuck and Ian. So I got that Fatal 4-Way out of the way. I'll save my other ones for later. Jordan, why don't you give me a couple?
Give me the Lucha Bros versus Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio.
That's perfect.
That's like some garnish on top right there. That was
Yep.
that was the garnish.
That's
right
I
there.
put
Lucha
little
Libre.
chives on there.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
I think the chat's going to like that too. I mean, that just makes a lot of sense. You have Rey Mysterio, who's a Lucha legend. Dragon Lee's an up-and-comer. And I think you can make a case that the Lucha Brothers are one of the best tag teams on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed. This is my meat/banger match. Drew McIntyre versus
God.
Okada versus Sheamus versus Eddie Kingston.
Shit.
Huh. Oh, you lost Gags at Kingston, by the way.
No, I'm okay with that. I'm just not an Eddie Kingston.
I like it. That's a good one.
Drew wasn't on your card, Ian, I'm assuming, since you reacted
No,
like that?
no. I left out Drew and CM Punk. Not
You have all
intentionally.
these leftover names. You can make
I
a match
know.
right now.
I could do a night 2 right now. I'm not going to think that much. I can make a night 2 right now. And about the same amount of matches, too. So
Jordan, how many more matches do you have written down?
So technically, I have the pre-show for the other night for the night 2 one,
Oh my God.
and then
I have
We got
one more
the-
match left.
we got
I
the
have
women's.
five.
I have the women's match, but I also have some fillers in there too that I can put in there.
Okay, well, how many? I want to know so we could go back and forth here.
I have about like 5 left. We'll say.
Okay, so Ian,
guys
we're
just
gonna
keep
save.
going.
You only got
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah, just keep going.
All right, let's go back and forth here. We're gonna do it kind of rapid fire, but let me go
Okay.
to the comment section. Robbie said Chef's Kiss on your first match that you mentioned, I believe. Great Brown Hope said Eddie Kingston greater than Kofi Kingston. No,
Oh.
no, no.
I mean,
don't
hey,
think that either.
according to CM Punk, he told Eddie he's not even the best Kingston in wrestling. So
He's right.
yeah.
Kofi Kingston's
It's
gonna be a
true.
two-time Hall of
Kingston
Famer.
is criminally underrated.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
World champion. I believe, held nearly every title, if not all titles. I know he's been an Intercontinental champion. I know he's been United States champion.
United States tag team.
He's going to go down in one of the greatest tag teams of all
Yeah.
time. And
100%.
he had one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history beating Daniel Bryan. I don't
Yep.
agree.
I agree.
But Eddie Kingston does the chop thing.
Yeah, that's true. You can make about 4 nights worth of matches. Yeah, you could. You definitely could.
Easily.
Kind said Punk versus MJF, run it back, go to AEW feud, run it across the brands. Yeah, I just think that's a little too much too soon.
Yep.
I don't think they would need to revisit that right away.
We already
Hopefully
had
they-
like a whole year's worth of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Very good year.
Very good year.
Did you just give us one, Jordan? Sorry, it's been a long episode. I forgot.
So I've got the Acclaimed versus the New Day.
Fun.
Oh yeah,
Just a fun match.
that would be a very very good pre-show match.
Get
Pre-show.
Big E on the ringside with Billy Gunn.
Oh,
I hope they start throwing pancakes when they walk in.
Pancakes and scissors, real scissors into the crowd.
Start cutting the pancakes in half. Yeah.
Oh. Tony Khan, Triple H, if you want us to book this show, we will.
Right,
Just
I
say
mean, yeah.
You can book this for 4 years out and build a whole storyline on it.
we could do it, but we're not going to because we're going to keep this episode under an hour and 15 minutes. But of course, I got to get CM Punk on the card, and I really struggled to find an opponent for him. I thought about MJF, but for the reasons I just said, I couldn't do it. So I didn't have a match for this guy on the AEW side of things. And these guys obviously got ties in WWE in the past. CM Punk versus Adam Copeland. Just two vets going at it.
That's good.
All right.
That's good.
Why not? You know?
I like that one.
I don't have like story behind it or anything, but they both are
You know what?
synonymous with like Money in the
No,
Bank.
I think there's some story there. I mean, both guys have just recently jumped ship to the other company.
Oh, yeah.
You could have something fun
Totally
to talk about with that.
going on.
Yeah.
They can just talk about how the grass is greener on their side.
Oh, that place sucked. Oh no, that place sucked.
No, your place sucks. Now let's fight. That's how you build a match.
Yeah,
Jordan,
basically.
give me another one.
Britt Baker, Tony Storm, and Sky Blue versus Liv Morgan, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca.
Getting the women on the card.
It's an oddball,
Yeah.
but the reason that I
Yeah.
said it is because you've got the Sky Blue gimmick with the Liv Morgan gimmick,
Yeah.
Britt Baker and Charlotte, and then you got Tony Storm and Bianca.
You're basically
That's all right.
making
Yeah.
one-on-one fantasy matches in a tag team.
Essentially, yeah.
I know, I get it. I see the vision. I want a battle of commentary teams. Give me Michael Cole versus Tony Schiavone.
All right,
That's a good match.
What's the commentary for the show?
Oh.
You got to have Taz on there.
Oh, by the way, you got to have Pat McAfee versus Excalibur.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That actually would be a really good match.
I just want them to sit there and just go at it on commentary next to each other.
Well, I think we all can agree Michael Cole would be in our booth.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
He's the greatest of all time.
100%.
Cole. Who else? Maybe
Taz.
Excalibur?
You got to get Taz in there.
Taz, yeah. Taz, Cole, and McAfee?
Honestly, McAfee and Taz in the same booth would be amazing. That would be so
Yeah,
entertaining.
Good banter.
Yeah,
I would like
Taz-
to see a prime JR and McAfee in the same booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not going to see Prime JR, which T's and P's and our thoughts go out to JR. I believe
Yes.
he's in the hospital right now, so hopefully everything is going to turn out to be all right. But I don't know the details of that situation. But yeah, our thoughts are definitely with good old JR. Kind said Booker T, Michael Cole, and Taz. That would be fun.
No, keep Booker 2 out of this.
Keep Booker T out of.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, you guys are Booker T haters?
No, it's no.
I
it's
love
not
Booker T.
personal. I'm not a fan
It's-
of Booker T on commentary.
It's annoying. It's more annoying than anything.
Great Brown Hope said Booker T, Taz, Cole, and Tony.
Oh my gosh.
So even out the, and I want to see Cole in that stupid orange ring gear sitting in the box again. Robbie just wants to see Michael Cole get tortured like Bailey. All right, I got another one for you. Two big names. The AEW World Champion will be on the main card, unlike Ian. Swerve Strickland taking on Drew McIntyre. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. See, that's my reasoning. It was like I don't know who to match him up against. It was a
Drew is just on the run of his career right now, and you can make the same case for Swerve Strickland. I think they're both at the top of
Swerve,
their game that they've ever been at. You put those guys against each other, I think you got magic.
I'd agree.
All right, give me another one, Jordan.
I would go Swerve and Carmelo Hayes.
Is that kind of like an established guy going against the next up and
Even though I've already used
Didn't
Carmelo.
they have a match before in NXT? I feel
Probably
like they might
indies
have-
too.
probably indies for sure, but why not get? They're both like this is like their moment now. Like Carmelo's the top guy and Swerve's the top guy. So like, why not let them have that top guy time and let them go at it?
Or you have Carmelo Hayes win the Money in the Bank and have this match with the briefcase, and he cashes it in on Swerve.
That's a little bit better.
Like a trade. Carmelo Hayes, the face of AEW.
Yeah, you never know. It is the Forbidden Door. Swerve versus Drew for Swerve's title. Yeah, if that match were to happen, I would make that an AEW championship match for sure. Jesus Christ, I
Oh my
can't talk.
gosh.
Yeah, I had a stroke there. But maybe CM Punk would interfere in that one. Just to keep
There's not a world without Punk not interfering in a Drew
right.
match.
That's true.
Kind said completely agree. Jordan Hayes versus Swerve is a banger.
The fans love me, guys. You guys have made them wait 200 episodes to bring me on. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess we have. Random ass match just to get them on the card as well. The Bloodline 2.0, the serious badass heels in the WWE, taking on the fun-loving trio of the Acclaimed. Just killers versus a joke. Could you imagine the rap Max Caster would have for the Bloodline?
I am scared.
Yeah, I would. That would be essentially a squash match. I gotta
Yes,
have
it
the
would be.
Bloodline squash the Acclaim just for my sanity. Kind does have a question for Jordan. Do you
Oh my
like
gosh.
Kalani Jordan?
I feel like there's only one right answer here.
No, there's one right answer from us and one right answer for Kine. There are two
I'm going to
different
say
answers. Here.
no.
Yeah, good answer.
Sorry.
She's got a lot of potential.
a lot of potential, but we got
Kind is just head over
Agreed.
heels for him or for her.
You know, scrambled eggs are necessary, Robbie. How else are you going to start off your day?
good breakfast. All right.
Yeah, just get a little taste. You got to have a come down after all these big matches, guys. You got to space it out a little bit.
It's gonna be
Jordan-
breakfast time when the show ends.
Yeah, for sure. Jordan, how many? I have 2 more matches. What do you have?
I got one.
Okay,
This is my
so-
main events.
All right, let me get mine out of the way, and then I'll go to our main events.
Cool.
Orange Cassidy has to be on the card, and I have him taking on the Ring General Gunther.
Jesus.
That would be a contrast of styles if you've ever seen one.
That is a perfect Orange Cassidy match. That's what
That
that
it
is
is.
right there.
I think that's
He works
actually
so
happened
well
before.
against bigs. He works so well against big guys.
Yeah.
And like Gunther's super serious. The ring is sacred. Orange Cassidy wrestles with his hands in his pockets. Like put it
Was that
together.
in PETA? I wonder. I'm gonna look that up. If I could
I think
find
that
that
was in-
match, I will send it to you guys.
Yeah,
I feel like that's happened before.
It definitely has.
Geez, the bloodline would eat them alive, but Acclaim will cut a wrap first. Yeah, that's my booking. He sees the vision. Is he Dame greater than Kalani? Okay, now they're just enough Kalani talk in the chats, or I'm going to start banning people.
Missy Kate's greater than Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, Missa Kate's better anyway.
Better.
We all know that.
100%.
All right, boys. Actually, hold on. Let me get to the comments section really quick before we get to our main event. Oh, they're just talking about crap again. Oh my God, my brain didn't work earlier. I meant Waller versus Orange Cassidy, not Waller versus Ospreay. Okay, that makes
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
that makes a lot of sense there, Robbie. But look, boys, it looks like there's been enough talk. It's time.
I think there's been enough talk. It's time for the main event. Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event. Well, it looks like
You heard Mark Henry. It is time for the main event. Forbidden Door 2024 WWE versus AEW. Ian, what is your main event?
I'm glad you started me off first because Kine stole my thunder earlier. I thought this was low-hanging fruit, but I think this is a main event no matter what because these are probably the top 3 most influential wrestlers, at least a year ago or a couple years ago. It was Roman Reigns, Jon Moxley, and Seth Rollins. That just writes itself. I mean,
And we only got it one time in WWE. There
Yeah.
was a B-level pay-per-view.
yeah, exactly. I think that writes itself. That would sell tickets.
I would pay for nosebleed seats just to see that match, probably $500.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, it is essentially a layup, Ian, but sometimes
Oh, that
layups
was
are turned into slam dunks. You know?
that was the first match I wrote down, which probably kind of screwed me because I feel like all of those guys could have really good matches with anybody. So
Yeah. Main event, Triple H versus Tony Khan in a spelling bee match. I'll take Triple H. Ian sees the same vision as me. I'm literally him. Well, congrats. Ian cooking big time. Couldn't agree more. All right, so the fans loved Ian's main event. He's having all Shield members in a triple threat. Jordan, what is your main event for Forbidden Door?
No, even if he just retired,
hey,
I
Kine,
would love to see this.
go fuck yourself, Kine. Sorry, he was claiming I stole it from him. I've had it written down.
Yeah, I mean,
We've had it all.
and didn't you send that to us too? Like, didn't you tell us?
I did not send it. I did not send it. I kept it to
I
myself.
sent mine.
Yeah, you did.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
wink.
Yeah, there you go.
My
Go
main
ahead with your
event
main event, sir.
is The Rock versus Sting.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, obviously you have to retell a story about him retiring and coming back, but
Yep. Think about it though. The Rock runs WWE, right?
yeah,
Tony Khan runs AEW. And then next thing you know, you've got what? Sting comes back to defend his boy Tony. It's written there.
and yeah, it's definitely a great match. I don't know if I would main event it personally in that card that you had. I think you have other matches that could have main evented, but I mean, just with the history that these two have, maybe.
I'm gonna add a little spice to that little meal there. I would say you go with the Sting and Darby tag team, then you have him go against Rock and Roman. That could be a main event.
Ooh. Which, by the way, Ian, you didn't have our tribal chief on your card.
I just said him.
You just said it.
Oh yeah, duh.
You know what?
Sorry.
Give me LA Knight and MJF on the mic for 20 minutes. Whatever.
Oh, you're an
That's a
MJF
segment.
meter.
Just a segment. That's my main event segment. There you go.
No, that's not your main event. Your main event's The Rock versus Sting.
And I think that match is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun, that's for sure. Definitely not going to be seeing it, but this is all hypotheticals here, people.
You're telling me you wouldn't go if it was in Chicago if Rock was wrestling Sting?
It doesn't really move the needle for me, to be honest with you.
I'd watch it on TV, and I'd be really excited to watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jordan. I know that's probably a hot take.
I'm sorry.
All right, what's your main event? Let's hear it. Let's hear if it's better than Rock versus Sting.
In ring wise, it definitely is going to be better than that. But mine is very similar to Ian's. It's kind of a layup once again, but I think if you think of AEW and the start of AEW, you think of one guy making that jump first, and that was Jon Moxley. For the last 5 years, I think most people would agree that the face of AEW has been Mox. Now, who's been the face over on the other side of things? The tribal chief, Roman Reigns. They have their histories. They are the ace of their company. One-on-one, Jon Moxley versus Roman Reigns, the main event of my Forbidden Door. Why not?
What kind of match is it?
It's a great question.
Is it a tribal rules match?
I don't know.
You got the whole AEW roster running down to the whole WWE roster.
Ooh, that'd actually be kind of fun.
Stipulation.
A zombies
Like,
match. Zombie lumberjack.
Loser has to go to the other company.
Oh.
I like that.
It would never happen, but that's
Oh,
fantasy
that would be
booking for you.
sick.
Yeah. Jon Moxley versus Roman Reigns. Loser goes to the opposition.
I was going to say, or you could just say loser has to leave their respective company. That would also
Yeah.
be really good. Yeah, it doesn't have to join them, but just, yeah, that would be cool.
Robbie said, love it, Kyle. Seth Rollins, special guest referee. Yeah, maybe, but I have him wrestling Will Ospreay, and I think I'm going to have Will Ospreay go over. That might surprise people.
Typical Seth losing at the big shows.
Yeah, you understand where I was going with that.
My
sure, but-
commentator, like the ring announcer for the show, would be Joe Hendry. Because I do believe
Oh! Say his name and he appears.
Mine would be Justin Roberts. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's actually coming into the studio right now.
My
This
ring
Jordan
announcers would be Justin Roberts and Samantha Irving.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Easy.
dude. Samantha Irvin has to be the announcer for that show.
100%.
100%.
Justin Roberts is my goat. I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Who's your goat, Jordan? And Ian, answer the question in the private chat while
Oh,
Jordan
yeah,
answers
shit.
that.
I think my goat would. She's probably taken over. It's got to be Samantha.
You got to throw the Fink in there,
The
for
Fink is good.
nostalgia.
But I also think she's what Michael Buffer was for boxing right now.
I totally agree with you. And she brings personality to the broadcast, too. And I think this is another fair one. Kine said Lillian Garcia. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a lot of nostalgic there, too, for sure. Hold on. We got one more comment, I think, trickling in that I haven't caught up to. Great Brown Hope said, Roman versus Moxley could be a 40-minute match. You just put Cole and Taz on commentary. Paul Heyman at ringside for Roman. Tony Khan with Moxley. Yeah. See, me and the Great Brown Hope are actually in cahoots. We're going to run the show together.
Okay, so what's with and maybe I don't get it, but Tony Khan with Moxley, there's no history there. He was
brought
never.
him in.
You know what I mean?
It's AEW guy.
Somebody's got to be with Moxley. If it's not Tony Khan, then who?
Have Rollins come in and defend Mox at the end.
Defend an AEW guy?
Think about it, bro. Roman broke up the Shield.
Oh,
The story's there, bro.
yeah.
Say
Have
Roman
it be
broke up.
2-on-1. And
Say,
then boom.
say Roman broke open the Shield.
No, sorry, Rollins broke the
He
Shield.
meant
up. My
Seth.
bad.
I knew what he was getting at. Yeah, Seth's the one.
But then have because think about it. When the Shield played at Mania, we all knew Moxley wasn't coming out, but I guarantee you, we all thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I remember something.
Right when that first Sierra hit, I was like, yeah, that might be Mox. And
I beat myself up for not going to that.
you didn't go to night 2?
No, I did not make it tonight too.
Okay.
Understood.
Yes, Robbie, Cody did make all of our cards, correct?
Yes.
2 a.m. Shout out to you, Robbie.
Oh, yeah. We have guys that stay up very late for this, and we're
Oh, yeah.
really appreciative of those guys for staying up and hanging out with us. But, yeah, Kine agrees. He said, low-key thought it was Moxley for 2 seconds. They got us there briefly, but we've reached that point of the episode where we have to decide who is the most valuable mark of this episode. And Robbie Collins, I'll tell you what, has had a great return, Ian, to the OTM community. It is a pleasure to see him. He's been running roughshod. You could argue he's one of the best MVMs of all time.
Up there with Bogus.
And Kine. I think
And
Kine,
Kine,
Bogus,
and
and
Kine had
Robbie
a
are
run.
in that conversation. But sometimes even the greatest lose. And
true.
that seems to be what happened tonight because, ladies and gentlemen, and new MVM of the On the Mark Wrestling podcast, the Main Event Network's own, the Great Brown Hope.
Very good call. I will be completely transparent. I do that with all of my votes. I did vote Robbie Collins because it was very hard to break through on
Great
who
chat
the
today.
winner was. It was a very close contention. I mean, even Xander made the cut in my mind because he just came out with bangers. Didn't really talk at all, but just came out with bangers. Oh,
What?
Oh,
What?
well, you have
Never mind. Go
okay.
ahead. Sorry, I don't know what happened there, guys. The feed.
Yeah, we're losing feed here.
See, that's why you got to watch live, guys. We're getting hacked.
Yeah, it was close contention though. Very good episode. A lot of talking.
Don't sell it. You're supposed to keep going through.
I just want to
Kayfabe
state
is
right
dead.
now. I just want to state right now the MVM ticker right there is completely blocking the QR code. There you go. That's better over there. For the audio listeners, there is a QR code flying around the screen.
On YouTube, which they do if they're watching us on YouTube.
True. That is true.
The streak is over, Robbie says. Well done to the Great Brown Hope. It is well deserved. Look at this. Just a gracious champion, or former champion, I should say. If someone else had to win, I would have liked it to be you. I'll be back, though. Good show, guys. You cooked, Jordan. So, yeah, that's kind of what I want to ask the chat now. Since this is over with, who do you think had the best Forbidden Door card? Honestly, guys, for once, I don't think I'm a winner. I think I would pick someone else.
I just want to state right now, I had 9 matches on my card, and you guys had like 5 more than me. So you guys are going until about 4 a.m. I'm going towards the midnight mark. So
The AEW fans are going to love it.
just
Yeah.
saying, keep that in mind, guys.
you got enough time to get breakfast at the stadium too.
He
Those
ain't wrong.
scrambled eggs, man.
I was cooking those scrambled eggs. Great Brown Hope said you guys should have a QR code that comes around like,
Oh, that would
and
be
you have to like
fun.
watch it hit the corner.
Dink. We all cheer.
So dramatic.
Every time it hits a corner, you got to finish your drink.
Oh,
You know, that doesn't happen too often, though, at least in my experience. All right, guys. I think that's about it. Let's wrap things up. Don't forget to check out the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. If you use promo code DOOR, you will save 10% off of your order. And Ian, tell the listeners about the Main Event Wrestling Network if they didn't already know.
yeah, Main Event Wrestling Network. If you are interested in creating content of any kind, and I mean any kind, if you want to make music, podcasts, videos, anything, TikTok, we need TikTok, guys. Reach out to one of us. Our handles on Twitter are below our names, me and Kyle's respectively. Reach out to one of us, or you could reach out to @mainevent_net. It's just a family of content creators that are just looking to celebrate the art of pro wrestling. And I mean, it's kind of a we support you, you support us kind of relationship. And it's just about having fun and cooperating with one another. So it's a great time out here. Please join the Main Event Wrestling Net, or at least just check it out and see what we got cooking over there.
Yeah, and speaking of cooking at the main event, Robbie and Kine just filmed a 1-hour show, and Kine was just a bit hungover, so that will definitely be an interesting watch. And don't forget, guys, we are now partners with the WWE shop. There is the QR code. Just use that right there. It'll take you to the WWE shop. Get yourself some WWE merch and tell them the OTM crew sent you. Jordan, any final remarks before we sign off to let the listeners know where they can find you on the socials?
All right, so on Instagram, you can find me at Kammer_Jordan, or for business things, it is Elite Endorsements. Feel free to hit me up, send me an email. Email is endorsementselite@gmail.com. Appreciate you guys having me on. Got to put the boys over really quick. One of the best podcasts out there. Love listening to you guys. I don't comment because I want to be hidden. You know, like,
You could be an MVM, though.
I could be, but I feel like I won this today, and I don't want to take that away from other people.
Oh my gosh! All right.
But
the chat did say you won,
Yeah, that's
so
true,
at least
true.
the chat thinks you won. We will ask everybody else though.
But in all seriousness, I had a blast doing this. Love you guys always. Yeah, I mean, can't thank you guys enough for the opportunity to come on and talk about wrestling with the boys.
It was a fun time, brother. We'll definitely have you back on soon. But appreciate the chat tonight. Awesome interaction. Greatly appreciate it. I'm at a loss for words, Ian. The support, it's humbling.
It was fun, especially just reaching our 200 milestone. We had a lot of people come out that don't comment every single week saying congratulations, which was, like you said, very humbling. A little heartfelt thing like this stuff every Thursday. I really look forward to it. So you guys really brighten up I could speak for Gags. I know that you guys
100%.
brighten up our weeks. So we appreciate you guys. We're not stopping anytime soon. So hope you guys stick along for the ride.
Yeah, and we got a question here from Robbie. He said, does he have an ex? There you go. I'm showing that on the screen. Jordan, tell him the handle.
Jordan Kammer 12. Pretty active on Twitter. Talk about the Bulls a lot. How we're not doing well. Love seeing the Cardinals lose.
They're not doing that.
We are losing right now. We are.
But go Cubbies always. You'll see that a lot on Twitter.
Oh, I can't believe we had to end the episode like that. But
Yeah.
guys, once again, thank you very much for listening. If you were watching live, greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling
Podcast.